Hello, 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 and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So what's eating you? Ooh, yo. I hope this video finds you in great mental health. Y'all see where I'm at? I'm in the hospital with VC. VC down bad. VC down bad. I don't got messages. Ooh, VC down bad. They doing VC wrong. VC at the hospital. They don't want to help them. Nobody want to help VC. VC. Close your mouth, first of all. No, I'm just playing. So anyway, VC is a part of the street sector. And I said, let me go on over to his page because I don't watch VC like that. I said, let me go on over the VC page and see what's going on with VC. Because the people y'all sound like y'all very, 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 very worried about VC. And I said, let me go over there. VC, I know a lot of people, he's a likable character and all of that stuff. Now, I ain't going to sit here and hold y'all. Y'all know I drag VC from the tips of his toes to the soles of his feet. I was the one saying he didn't need to be in that apartment. He was wasting taxpayers' money. Y'all know what I said about VC. I ain't gonna hold you. I said all that. VC, I said all of it. I still believe that. However, VC is a perfect example of what happens in the American healthcare system. Now, I don't know what happens in other countries. I can only speak on American healthcare system. And in general, it's full of shit. For people who have insurance other than a Medicaid, federal insurance, sometimes you might get treated a little better, if you got regular insurance, honey. Even with that, them people will still kill you dead in that hospital. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, VC is, he can't move around. He's dependent on other people. Although, he's a likable person, they know what it is. I mean, of course, when you go to the hospital, they run that blood test. They run that urine test. And they can see he's an active, user. And he's probably admitted to it. And so right there is a strike against him in the way that he will receive care. Unfortunately, it's the truth. You have somebody come in the hospital, they're active crack user or drug user or heroin addict or pill popper. Them people gonna treat you like ish. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're gonna treat you like ish. And even worse if you don't have insurance. Now, I'm assuming that he has, my assumption is that VC has Medicaid. And so if he has Medicaid, public, federal Medicaid, then that's already a strike against you when it comes to the healthcare industry. I mean, it is what it is. Is it against the law? Is it discrimination? Absolutely. Even with the EMTs and how they came in his house and, encouraging him. It was just a whole fucking mess. Well, the EMTs don't have a Hoyer lift on their truck. So, to try to get him to get in the seat. I don't know. Hell, they train for all that. I mean, I'm sure they done been to many people's house who were overweight. And they had to try to get them on a lift, or if somebody's back is out. God damn it, y'all have the training. You know how to do it. You know how to slide that board under somebody's ass and then wiggle it, and wiggle their ass onto the gurney. Don't get me to lie, because that ain't my field. But it's the way you treat people and customer service. I know VC been calling and going to the hospital back and forth and doing all the things. They used to it. As soon as he call in and the EMTs pick up where they going, they already sucking their teeth. They already sucking their teeth and stuff. So, I know he's probably not getting the best treatment and, made to sit in the ER and they ignoring him and act like he don't exist and not giving him even anything to eat or drink. It's 100% wrong in the way that people are treated. But it's a good example. It's a good example, y'all. I mean, if you feel like you want to go out and advocate on behalf of people like VC, either they homeless, mentally ill, poor, no insurance, underinsured, Medicaid, Medicare, because you don't, if you feel like people aren't treated fairly, this is a perfect example. He is documented his treatment or how he feels like he's being treated, but it can get worse. It definitely can get worse. You think about people, if you ever go on, I'm just thinking about Kensington and Philadelphia, and the people that live on Kensington, the drug addicts with open sores, open wounds, and the way that they are treated, if they end up at the hospital and all that. I don't know what the answer is, right? I don't know what the answer is. I think it has a lot to do with customer service, training, treating people the way they should be, treating people the way you want to be treated. In my field, I get that. I've always had the mentality that I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. And when I train new social workers and new therapists and new psychologists that want to come into the field, and that's what I tell them. You can have, this is my motto, I can have 8 o'clock in the morning, my first client that I'm going to see is a crackhead, let's just say that, a prostitute, somebody with nothing, living in the street, but they're coming in for therapy, right? That's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I treat that person with dignity, kindness, empathy. And then let's say at 10 a.m., I have someone who's coming in who has, money and a good job, and they're, from the outside, they look great, but maybe they're coming into a session because they're having anxiety issues, or maybe they're grieving or whatever. I'm going to treat those two people the same way, the same level of dignity, kindness, respect, and empathy. So if they had that same attitude in the healthcare industry, then people like VC wouldn't be made to feel like a piece of shit because they came into the hospital to get care. So I'm on VC's side with this. Y'all believe it or not, I mean, when it comes to the housing and how they treated that apartment, the fact that they still allow him to live in those conditions, he probably should have been evicted by the way he keep the apartment and all them crackheads and all that shit. But at the end of the day, if they allow him to live in an apartment like that, then that means there's an 80-year-old grandma down the street or in the complex whose toilet is not flushing and her ceiling is falling in, and they're allowing her to continue to live in that place. And for that, I say tear the whole complex down and start over. They probably just need to do that. But in conclusion, y'all keep VC, hi VC, y'all keep VC lifted up and keep him lifted up in prayer. And just, it's a perfect example of the healthcare system and inequality of the healthcare system here in the United States of America. And just a side note, it's probably going to get worse. Canada is looking better and better, honey. It's cold out there and stuff, but honey, they got free healthcare for everybody. Housing and all that stuff. Might be a little cheaper. I don't know. But Canada is looking real good right now. Bye.